Good morning. I'm delighted to join the National Trust for Historic Preservation, the Department of Agriculture, and the National Endowment for the Arts in welcoming you to this, the first national video conference on the revitalization of America's towns. Small towns have a special place in my heart. You see, I grew up in Dixon, Illinois. Back home in Dixon, family helped family and neighbor helped neighbor. You knew the grocer, the butcher, the minister, and the teacher. And when you walked down Main Street, people you passed had a kind word. Small towns like Dixon, and the towns that each of you represent, are the guardians of our bedrock values. Values like faith, family, hard work, neighborhood, and freedom. They're good places to work in, good places to live in, and some of the best places in America in which to raise families. It's no coincidence that today, when we're seeing a rebirth of optimism and self-confidence across our land, Americans are once again discovering the virtues of our small towns. Nothing better exemplifies the small town spirit of working together than the efforts of the National Trust for Historic Preservation and the pioneering accomplishments of its National Main Street Center. Since 1980, the National Main Street Center has gone to work in over 100 small towns, spurring downtown investment, aiding new business starts, and encouraging low-interest loans for renovations. To everyone who's had a hand in making this project such a success, you have my heartfelt thanks. And I urge each of you to go on taking full advantage of all the resources, enthusiasm, and expertise that the National Main Street Center has to offer. At the same time, I'd like to draw your attention to a major innovation that our administration put into effect less than 3 years ago. Increased tax credits for the renovation of older buildings. With that one initiative, we helped to send your tax dollars back into your communities. In 1983 alone, more than $2 billion in private funds was put to work preserving and rehabilitating older buildings across America. And in New York State, a study calculated that $100 million in rehabilitation projects generated $10 million in direct revenues for the state and its localities. Better yet, it also provided more than 5,000 new jobs. Across America, people are getting the message. Our tax credits have made the preservation of our older buildings not only a matter of respect for beauty and history, but of economic good sense. Indeed, forecasts indicate that by the end of this year, some $6 billion of private sector rehabilitation will have taken place since we put our tax credits into effect. That comes to almost as much in private funds spent in just 3 years as all the taxpayers' money that was spent over 9 years during the peak of federal urban renewal. When you leave this conference, I know your efforts will help to give our towns more restored buildings, more jobs, and a renewed sense of pride. And that will be good for our entire nation. For while our country's muscle may lie in our great industrial cities, America's heart is in our small towns. Thank you, and God bless you all.